Hey guys, I'm Ubiru and welcome back to World of Warships. Today we'll be looking at the Tier 5 Omaha. It's a light cruiser. It is the fifth cruiser down the American tier line. As you can see here, it starts off with the Erie, then Chester, St. Louis, Phoenix, and the Omaha. The Omaha is very unique in the fact, along with its sister ship, the Phoenix, the fact that it actually it has torpedoes. Torpedoes on this ship are unique for the American tier line, because as soon as we go into the Tier 6 Cleveland, Tier 7, 8, and 9 and 10, they all don't have torpedoes. Because they have torpedoes, they are very similar to the Japanese. All the Japanese cruisers from Tier 3 to Tier 10 have torpedoes, which are useful in some situations, but in some other situations you might prefer a Tier 6 Cleveland, for instance, which has more guns and more firepower from distance. Torpedoes are more of a close range, destroy big ships, small ships, whatever, as quickly as possible. I'll quickly run into the survivability of the ship, the Omaha. The survivability, as you can see here, is a 34, which is quite good for a Tier 5 cruiser. I think it's about the same as the Japanese equivalent. This is almost identical to the Japanese equivalent, but tier for tier, it's a bit less survivability in the score out of 100. It has 26,000 hit points and up to 76 millimeters of armor. It can be penetrated by any other ship in the game, I believe. The caliber of the smallest guns, the secondary armament, can penetrate this armor. So it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. I mean, it could have armor of a destroyer. The main guns for the ship, there are a lot of guns. There are 4 single-barreled guns at the front and 4 single-barreled guns at the back. There are also 2 double-barrel guns at the front, one at the front and one at the back. These guns, the 152 shells, they do quite a lot of damage, and there's lots of them. The full broadside of this ship is, if they all hit a destroyer, it's catastrophic. As you would expect a cruiser, the main enemy is either another cruiser or a battleship. They're the ones to fear, as in this particular ship. Destroyers are probably the easiest ones to kill, along with aircraft carriers. Destroyers, they have very weak armor, paper armor, and with these guns firing at the range 12.5 kilometers plus, and the speed of the guns, destroyers don't really stand a chance. If you lead your shots well, destroyers will blow up in no time. I have had several ammo rack explosions with these guns, firing HE onto a very low armored destroyer. So the firepower is fantastic. The next one is torpedoes, which we have touched up on. 533mm triple. So we have 2 of those on each side. We see just on the waterline, just above the waterline, we have one here, one on the opposite side, and we have one above it. So they have 3 torpedoes in each of them. So that's 6 for each side, which is fantastic. I just think for a cruiser, I mean, it's great anyway, but I don't even think destroyers have that many as a capability. So 6 for each side. You could do 6 torpedoes towards a battleship, turn the ship around, do another 6, and that's 12. So that take between 15 seconds or so. You have 12 on the field. You could swarm up a whole area of water, so it could be catastrophic. A downside to how many torpedoes there are is the fact that they don't go too far. They only go up to 5.5 kilometers distance, and they're not the fastest. They're not quite as fast as the destroyers, and they don't go as long. They're about half as long and about the slightly less speed. So there are some interesting characteristics of this ship. It also has a plane used for scouting, which is primarily used with battleships, but they are later used with cruisers. This is the first one for the cruiser line for the Americans, which uses a scout plane. It can be quite useful just to scout enemies in front of you. This ship it's very similar to the Japanese sort of things. They do have a lot of similarities. probably a good point to this ship is the fact that it's very maneuverable, and it's almost like a crossbreed between a destroyer and a cruiser. So it has the speed and maneuverability of a destroyer, with the armor of a cruiser, torpedoes of a destroyer. In general, it's if you know how to play this ship correctly, then I hope I do. But it is a very fun ship to play if you know what to do. If you know how to lure enemies out, launch torpedoes in enemy gaps, full broadsides onto destroyers. I mean, the turning rate of these guns is fantastic as well, so it's very easy just to turn the guns about and lay some enemy firepower onto the enemy. The next stat is the anti-air guns. There are it's quite misleading, this statistic. It says it's a 7 out of 100, which isn't fantastic. It's actually not. It's quite terrible. But it is misleading because if you have the low tier planes go overhead from the tier 4 aircraft carriers, then they do go down very quickly. It's quite easy to shoot down planes with this. I mean, it's all automatic, but it does happen quite often. I've noticed lots of plane kills while using this ship. So that's very good. Maneuverability is 65, so maneuverability of the ship is fantastic. It's I think it's about the same as a Cleveland. Let me just confirm. No, it's better. So it is better than the tier above it, and I think it's about the same as the Phoenix, the tier below. So maneuverability 65, maneuverability 65. It's not as good as a battleship. It's not. It's better than a battleship, but it's not as good as a destroyer. 34 knots max speed. The rudder turns in 7.5 seconds, and the maximum, well, I think it's a minimum turning cycle of 830 meters. So that is really good. You can easily move within rocks, quick turns. For those torpedoes, 6 on one salvo, turn it around, another 6. So it's very useful. Concealment, it's about as you would expect for a cruiser. It's not fantastic, it's not terrible, it's about average. 51 is quite good. It has a surface detectability range of 13.5 kilometers and air detectability range of 6.7 kilometers. So this is actually, it's got some good stats actually, this ship is fully upgraded, and I'll show you just now. The upgrades are only minor. The main battery, the increase is incremental. The rate of fire for these guns is increased with the slight upgrade, which costs, I think, 2,000 experience. The rate of fire increased, and the turn time is increased also. So it takes longer. It's like 1.5 seconds longer. You don't really notice it because it's from one side to the other. It's only a very slight change, but with the really fast turning of these guns, you won't really notice it. You see an enemy ship on the side of you, you turn all the guns around in no time, fire away, torpedoes, turn again. The next upgrade is the range gunfire control, and that is just an increase in distance, which most ships have, and it's up to 12.7 kilometers, which is quite good for a cruiser of this tier. And obviously a hull change, which is only a slight change. It's an increase in anti-air guns, and I think that is the major difference. It's only got a slight increase in air guns, anti-air bullets firing into the sky, flak, whatever you want to call it, and increase in health. It's only a 3,700 increase, so not dramatic. Propulsion and torpedo tubes will remain the same, 5.5, 56 knots, and 90,000 propulsion. It goes 34 kilometers per hour. It's not a terrible statistic for the ship. So overall, I think the ship is it's actually a really fun ship to play if you can play it correctly. I'll just run into some games now just to show you guys how it's played and how I play the ship. So let's have a go. So here we are. Oh, it seems we're on a bit of a interesting matchmaking. This does happen from time to time in the closed beta. We have less ships. They have quite a lot more. The tier differences isn't too substantial. We have the same sort of tiers of battleships. We have a tier 6 destroyer. I don't know. It's not very good. Anyway, this map is quite good fun to play. Not in the setup though, I prefer playing it in the 3 cap points. This is sort of in World of Tanks, you have to go and cap the enemy base. This is the same sort of thing. Fight in the middle, fight on the sides, go for cap. So as you can see, the torpedoes do go about. We have 6 for each side. Reload is quite long, however. It's about 60 seconds, which is quite substantial, considering the destroyers have a reload time of around 30 seconds. But it's torpedoes on a cruiser, so I'm not complaining. The guns are quite interestingly laid out. You see, you can do a full broadside of we can do 6 with 8 shells. That's a full broadside of the ship, 6 with 8 shells, 2 of which from each of the double-barreled guns. But if you can fire straight forward, then you only can use the double barrel, or the numbers are here on the bottom left-hand screen, the 2, 4, or 3, 5 guns. Just to turn quite a lot sharper in order to get the back guns working. There's 6, 8, 7, 9, and the 10 guns. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have aircraft on this ship, and I will press T. It is a scout plane, and it will hopefully go in the distance and find me an enemy to shoot at. 12.7 kilometer distance firing range, so not terrible. A lot better than destroyer, but not as good as the battleship. The battleships have a ridiculous range of something like 25 kilometers, which, yeah, but they can't spot them, so they require aircraft to do so. So yeah, it seems that we're following their team, following the battleships. We do have a disadvantage in this game, quite a big disadvantage. I'm going to get away from staying on my own because I am quite low tier. There are some higher tiers than me, tier 6 and tier 7, I believe. No, tier 7, no, sorry, just tier 6. Oh, there's a poor sod on the enemy team in a Katori, tier 1. That would explain the matchmaking. Oh well, we'll sort him out. Anyway, we're going to follow it around. We're going to go around. I've noticed, usually when this game is played, quite a lot of people just follow each other. They go around in big circles and battleships and cruisers. If you get sort of stuck on your own in this game and you're against 2 or 3 ships, it doesn't really matter what tier they are. They can take you out if they have torpedoes. If it's a tier 3 destroyer, they can easily take out a battleship. If they run circles around them, if there's a group, a wolf pack of destroyers or cruisers, they can easily take out one of the bigger ships. It's a bit harder, it takes a bit longer, but it is possible. Unlike in for instance, World of Tanks, when you have a tier 10 mouse, a heavy tank, and you have a tier 10 mouse versus, I don't know, a tier 1 LOL tractor, then they're never going to penetrate, they're never going to do any damage with HE or armor piercing or anything. With this, you can destroy the highest tier with the lowest tier. Theoretically speaking, it might take a long time, but it's possible. Anyway, it seems the enemy has split in half. They have some battleships, as you can see on the map. They've been spotted and now they've phased out. They are in the distance on the left-hand side, and we have some destroyers in the middle. I am currently out of range of everyone, so I will try and get as close as possible. This map's a bit of a pain. It doesn't have too much. Oh, torpedoes. Gonna fire them just for the sakes. Who knows if a destroyer will appear? They do quite often appear out of nowhere. Because they're high concealment, they are literally invisible for a long time. Sometimes worth doing blind shots like this. You have a long reload, yes, but it can be worth it. So I do have a long reload on this. It's 60 seconds, but I do have the other 2 active if I want to turn about and do some fire. But the max distance is only 5.5 kilometers, so it is rather pointless unless, of course, an enemy appears out of nowhere. So I see in the distance there is a torpedo plane, which could potentially do me a lot of damage. Torpedo planes, their primary target is battleships, but they do a lot of damage against cruisers. I mean, I can move left and right quite quickly, but not quick enough if there are lots of torpedoes heading my way. I have to be especially wary about multiple torpedo planes, because that scissor movement, which I explored in my aircraft carrier video, is deadly and can be fatal. This can take probably 3 or 4 torpedoes, and then it's gone. A lot better than the destroyer, only taking 1, and not as good as the battleship taking like 20, but whatever. Okay, there is a destroyer past that rock. I can't get in range at the moment because I need to turn around. It might be a bit deadly for me to go in that little corner, but I think I will give it a test. There's a battleship in the distance and another battleship. I can, if I can move straight, I can get within range of firing at this one here. I have 12.7 max and he's at 11.5. I'm switching to armor piercing rounds because armor piercing is better against armor targets, like for instance this battleship. I'm leading my shots now. I'm not sure how fast he's going. Okay, he's not going quite as fast as I thought he was. Okay, I fired a salvo of... It's still missing. Let's try again. I get him this time. I hit him 4 times for 2,400 damage. Not enough, considering they have around 60,000 health. More firepower. The guns aren't as powerful as the battleship. They're about half the caliber, half the damage. Not very effective at all against well, over prolonged battles against big ships, like for instance these ones from distance. They have the range and they have the advantage of high caliber, so they have a big advantage over me. That's why when I get a bit closer, I have the advantage of torpedoes, and I have 12 of them. So if I get within sort of 5 kilometers, yes, I'll be I have to be a bit wary because of the damage from main guns he has. But I can kill him off if I lead my shots correctly. This guy has just done that. Just fired off quite a lot of torpedoes. I'll keep firing down the guns. Oh, this guy got hit quite hard. I don't know if I should just continue these fire or go for torpedoes. This guy's going to go down very soon, so I'm just going to go for it. You never know if I might kill him. Oh, we're losing our base. Look at that. And this guy is going down. And he's dead. Unfortunately, though, we are losing the game. Our whole team did go this way, and I did as well, so I'm partly to blame. And we didn't look at the capture point. So that is unfortunate. But I got 22 hits, and I shot down 1 plane, so it could have been a lot better. We'll try again. We'll give it another shot. We'll try again quickly. That was only a very quick battle, so we'll try again once more. See if I can get some good kills. That's what I'd like. Some very good kills. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're back. Last game didn't go so well, so we're going to try again. We have 5 seconds left. This map is quite interesting. It's a big cluster of rocks on the small ones on the right hand side, along with one really big one. Usually on this map I've noticed the big ships, the battleships and some of the cruisers just go all the way left into sort of this area here. Marking it now. They have a big sort of battleship battle there. I am at a disadvantage in this match. I am tier 5 and the highest is tier 6. But we have the same amount of people in each team, so that's not too bad. Okay, I could do multiple things here. I could be assertive, or I could sort of move around the left side of the map. I'll follow the crowd this time. Of course, I won't be able to get any torpedo hits, but a big part of this ship is also the fact that I can use these big guns at long distance. 12.7. I've just done my scout plane, see if I can help this destroyer in scouting someone so he can lay his torpedoes down. Oh no, it's not many people go right behind the big rock. Maybe a couple of cruisers usually go down there. I'm not going down there just because really no one else is. If you go on your own in this game, you tend to die very quickly. So who we got on this side? We got cruiser. We got 4 cruisers, 5 cruisers, 6, 7 cruisers. Wow. No, sorry, 6 cruisers, 1 battleship. That's quite a lot. And there's another battleship behind me, and 2 behind me. It's gonna be a very big battle over here. They have, we have an aircraft carrier, which is quite good. Which, if they have torpedo bombers, would be of great use. They have 3 battleships, 5 destroyers. Okay, getting in close combat quarters is probably not the best option in this fight. I have to be very wary of torpedoes, but no torpedo bombers, which would be good. But destroyers are the biggest threat. I mentioned earlier that destroyers are your easiest target. They are at distance, but if you get close, you are in a lot of trouble in this ship. It is big. It doesn't maneuver as good as a destroyer, so it can easily be hit with torpedoes. As you can see, there's 2 lines of torpedoes coming in over there, and we have a destroyer and a cruiser fleeing for their lives. Still out of range. We do have 2 torpedo planes, which is fantastic. Hopefully deal with one of their battleships for us. Okay, we are in range at long last. We have a cruiser at the distance. I will load high explosive rounds. He's moving at very slow velocity, so I will lead them only slightly. Oh, he is in fact reversing now, so I will fire behind him. HE is great against cruisers. It sets them on fire. They don't have a lot of armor, so it deals with them in a nice, sensible manner. HE would go straight through and only deal minor damage. I'm getting some good broadside on this guy now. He's on fire. Laying down more shots. The broadside is fantastic with this. If you get all guns firing, it can do a lot of damage. He's now going forward again, so I'll just fire ahead of him. We're going to take a couple of hits. 3,000 damage. He's on fire again, so he uses repair to deal with the fire, and he's on fire again, so a bit of an issue for him. I have my torpedoes at my disposal, but I won't use them yet because I am out of range. There is another cruiser just here, and it is in fact a Cleveland. I have to be a bit wary because the broadside of a Cleveland is very powerful. If he hits me with this, I am going to take a lot of damage. I knocked out one of his secondary armament. He did hit me for only 2,000 damage, so not too bad. Leading the shots, but I don't know if it's leading enough. I should probably use him for 5 there. Okay. I have to be very careful. In close proximity, a lot of people make silly mistakes, and they often use torpedoes without seeing an ally or whatever, and a lot of friendly fire does happen. If you get hit by a torpedo, it induces flooding, and you can easily just sink. So it is very easy to die. Just floating around allies like so. I'd be very wary of what they're doing, but most of them are Cleveland, so in that respect I am okay.
Requesting fire on the designated target.
And Clevelands don't have torpedoes. Battleship in the distance, there is another cruiser just here, the one I was firing at earlier, the one that got me with the broadside, the Cleveland. Oh, okay, we have a destroyer on our right side. Firing from this range isn't recommended because they do maneuver faster than... so a spread shot is probably best against a destroyer. See, I very nearly got him there. If you do a full broadside, then you're more likely to miss than if you were to use a couple of guns here, a couple of guns in this direction, a couple of guns in this direction. And we have 2 destroyers coming, so to lead them quite far, because they do move very fast, probably around 40 knots. And there's another one. I have to get out of range of these torpedoes or I will get hit. I've got to do a full left turn. Will I make it? Go full reverse. Got to miss these torpedoes. I don't want to risk getting hit. Okay. We've avoided it. Turn left further. And they are out of range. Okay. Just one after the other. Continue firing. Get in range for my back guns. 7, 9 and 10. I just got hit by something. Oh dear. It was the cruiser. I'm going to play a bit risky here. I am going to... Dear. Okay, I was set on fire. I have released it now. I'm going to try and get some cover.
The ship is on fire.
I can't really allow these guys taking big hits on me. I will focus more on this destroyer. But he is doing his his wild moving about. We are winning the battle, fortunately, only just. We have 3 kills, so and they have 1 kill. Oh, blimey. No, I thought that was within range. I'm going to take a full left turn, see if I can deal with one of those cruisers. I can show you the torpedoes on this this amazing cruiser. Shame I haven't used them just yet. They're kind of pointless against. Kind of points against other destroyers because they're so fast. They just move out of the way. They just move a little bit left, move a little bit right, and they pretty much leave everything. This guy is 4.5 kilometers away. If I lead torpedoes, I can get him if he's not dead by the time I fire. I will narrow the line. I will see if I can fire it down now. We have all 6 shells. Torpedoes. Gonna break. Gonna hide behind here. Change to. No, I'm gonna stick to armor piercing for now. Go in full reverse. Stop as quickly as I can. Hope these torpedoes hit. If they don't, then I have a backup of shells. Just done a shell. He is turning. Okay. If he doesn't blow up before, he's gonna die now. Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him. Now kill him. Kill him. Go on. Go on. Torpedoes. Torpedoes. Yes. Okay, that is a good kill for hiding behind rocks, using the gaps in the water, like so. Just firing torpedoes there. Just not too much. Not too difficult actually. But you have to worry about the big ships laying fire onto you. I am on around half health now because of the fire I took from cruisers. It is a bit of a problem when you get in this situation I'm in now, where you're stuck between 2 rocks. You have to go full forward, turn right, full back, turn left. And then, of course, you get the annoying beep, which doesn't stop until after. Okay, we are winning now. We've knocked out half the enemy team. I have 1 torpedo hit, 1 flooding, 1 destroyed, 2 fires, 17 hits in total. Okay, I don't care if I'm going to hit the back bumper. It means I can turn sharper next time. I'd be at a full stop as well. Okay, we have a battleship, which is within 8 kilometers. So if I change to armor piercing rounds, I can get him from probably this distance if I clear the rock. But he is turning sharp. Yeah, not quite clearing it yet. Full speed ahead. And start firing as much as I can. The guns are pointed behind him, so I do have the advantage. He won't be able to shoot me from this distance unless it's secondary armament, which he can't control. And that is a if there's many ships around, they sort of do the easiest one. And I'm quite far away. These armor piercing do quite a lot of damage to the big battleships, like this one here. You can see it is taking quite a lot of damage from just these single shells. It's not really worth me doing torpedoes at this distance because they're 5.5. I'm just to see if I can batter him down, finish him off before this other guy does. No, I didn't get it. Oh well, there's still a kill for the team and a kill for the game. 5 enemies left, 2 destroyers. Okay, we have changed to high explosive rounds. There's a destroyer ahead of us. So they have 2 battleships, 1 cruiser and 2 destroyers left. Let me see if I can clear this guy. He is on fire, so he has taken some critical hits. But he is avoiding my battery fire. And there's another 2 cruisers after him, so I'll try and do a bit more spread shots. If you do the spreads, then there's more chance of hitting than otherwise. He did do a full turn on the other side, though. So if I can hit him once or twice, that'd be nice. 1, 2. He's going to die, though. Oh, well. Just 3 guys left. See if I can close in on one of those battleships, get behind him. I will quickly message guys, don't cap. It's no fun capping in a game in beta. I don't really. Yes, you win the match, but it's not fun. You don't really practice. It's about learning how the game's played. I will use my surveillance. So I'll quickly get outside the cap zone if possible. Hopefully I have enough time to get the hell out. Because there are 3 of us in here. Or 4 of us. Oh, cock. I don't know if I have enough time. Oh, this guy blocking me off isn't going to help. Ah, oh, what an idiot. people driving their ships like complete idiots. Does happen quite a lot. Some things about this game, I have noticed the community is very similar to that of World of Tanks. It's very poisonous after a while. We have one because of the cap. I don't know if that's a wargaming thing. But people are people. People, you know, you can't really have a friendly conversation in the chat. Some people just bicker pointlessly. But I was a bit surprised because it is closed beta and people, you can't change people. People are unchanged. Anyway, we won that game because on the cap, it was an accidental cap, mind you. We did get one kill. We got one hit with a torpedo, which killed the ship, caused flooding. We obviously captured the base at the end, and we got 32 main hits onto ships. So, not a terrible game. So this was the Tier 5 American cruiser, the Omaha. So it's a pretty good ship overall. I will upload more matches of this ship and the rest of my ships very soon onto my channel. The next ship is the Cleveland for the American cruiser line, which is without torpedoes. I also have a Mitsuki Tier 6 Japanese destroyer coming up soon, and of course the Big Daddy, which is the Tier 6 Japanese destroyer, the Fuso. It's a big upgrade on the Congo, and that'll probably be up within the next couple of days. So again, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.